Hi, good morning. Sorry to keep you all waiting. I will not delay our very special day any further, and I have much pleasure in inviting a key member of the NFP family and an elder and a mentor, Mrs. Priscilla Singh, to kickstart the events. Thank you.
A very good morning to you all. I am very honored to begin this very auspicious event for the National Federation Party today, both as a party stalwart and mentor, and also as the representative of the party selection committee, which I chaired on occasion. Where we are today in terms of the announcement of the full makeup of proposed candidates was not done in isolation. And therefore, I want to gratefully acknowledge dear party elders, fellow stalwarts, and precious party supporters whose wise counsel was so critical. And I wish to name them: Mr. Jaginder Singh, Mr. James Raman, Ms. Makareta Wangavonovono, a former High Court, a former magistrate, and of course, Dr. Tui. To kickstart the occasion that we have invited you, members of the media, for, it is my profound privilege to announce both the party president, Pio Tikonduandua, and party leader, Professor Biman Prasad, as proposed candidates that will lead the NFP team into parliament and into government with our partners, the People's Alliance, with you, the people's permission and an endorsement. Professor Biman Prasad is no stranger to any of us. His academic and professional career is no secret. But this is a man who has the party confidence, endorsement, and 200 backing since the party AGM of 2014 and every AGM thereafter. Professor Biman Prasad has been attacked, ridiculed, and politically persecuted ever since he took over the reins of the party in 2014. He does not take kindly to threats and intimidation, and he will dish it back with equal force, but with class and dignity. He is an empathetic, humble, and empathetic leader. And this is one man who can listen to you, whether he agrees with you or not, he will listen. Fiji, this is a leader worthy of your endorsement in the Fiji's new government. By his side, Pio Tikonduandua is also no stranger to us, nor to the nation. He too is a giant of a man who leads from the heart and never backs down either. The nation saw that atrocious assault of our party president on the premises of Parliament. The nation saw and was told by Vice President Lenora the disgusting words used against our president as he grabbed him by the coat. Yet the FFP thinks their banners saying they are the change. Yes, they will be changed, and voters will see to it. But Fiji, Pio is also a noble and resolute man worthy of endorsement in Fiji's new government that we will ring in with the new year. With these two announcements, I will now hand over to the party leader to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, I want to thank Priscilla Singh for chairing the selection committee and also for putting in a lot of effort, time, and energy in making sure that our selection process was properly followed, and we today now have 55 candidates who will take us to the election on the 14th of December. And today, my friends, we proudly announce our final lineup of brave and resolute leaders that we present to you, Fiji, as worthy of representing you in Parliament and in the new government that we will form with our partners from the People's Alliance Party. None of these individuals that I have the good fortune and privilege to lead into the 2022 elections are common or mediocre. They are the best of the best. They are the best of the best who have stepped forward knowing the huge political risks for the next substantive 34 or 35 days of campaigning to save you and to save the people of Fiji. I am very proud, indeed I am very proud, to stand shoulder to shoulder with them all. Team NFP is moving together for Fiji's future, to save and end the reign of the two-man rule in this country. As we have moved around the nation, we're often in shock to hear about the shambolic standards of basic government services like health that our people have continued to be frustrated about and have continued to suffer. Our people and the taxpayers of this country, my friends, are fed up. They tell us that they are impatiently waiting for 14th of December to give this government the exit orders at the ballot box. In fact, many tell us that they are giving them due notice right now. And I am told that some of them are eagerly awaiting their appearance at the various community campaign Talanoa sessions. And I am told also that some Fiji First ministers actually have had the unfortunate circumstances of either being chased away or being told by communities not to bother coming to them at all. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when your ego and your delusions of grandeur and self-importance makes you think that you are immune to promises to taxpayers that you cannot keep. Yet, the Fiji First government makes it almost illegal for other parties to present their views in a proper manifesto, because they have enacted and passed these stupid and ridiculous laws. We at NFP ask you, or respectfully ask you today, to all the people of this country, to all the families and friends, to open up your homes and hearts and listen to our candidates. We ask you to spare a minute or to greet them when you see them in the market or in the streets or in the communities or in the villages. Invite them to your community halls, coffee shops, or wherever you feel comfortable. And let them tell you about NFP's proposals for this country that we all deserve. And when we have the right-minded and service-centered, good-hearted people leading us, and very soon we will begin sharing our vision for Fiji to all the people of this country for a positive, promising, and united future. We say to the people of this country, enough of the big talk. While our water taps are drying up, People I go everywhere in the Sori and the Sinu tell me these awful stories about water not being in the tap on a regular basis. So we say, Sarauta, enough. With all the fake upgrade plans like the big sign outside the Morrison maternity unit. Some of you must have seen that big sign. When students such as those at FNU, we are told cannot graduate simply because no one is committed to making sure that they can get work attachments as their study program demands or requires. Enough. Enough with the lies denigrating the National Federation Party and the People's Alliance. When we know that their own hands are filthy and corrupt in many ways. Nepotism and scandalous anecdotes of quid pro quo and pay to play. The Fiji First government thinks that they can create fear as easily as it did prior to the 2018 election. And all our candidates know this. In fact, they should be more afraid of the people who know the power that they have right now to kick them out. Today's announcement and the whole team, ladies and gentlemen, people of Fiji, are a committed set of people who will help you know your power. Because Ayaz Sayed Qayyum's political campaigning is all about his billion-dollar fantasy road and attacking everybody else. How does he think he will build this new road when our health services are collapsing? When our education system is 30, 40 years out of date and people can't even get water in the taps? We all know that the government is in billions of dollars debt, and all he can think of is to borrow more money to build a road we don't need. This is the fantasy. Ayaz Sayed Qayyum is attacking the opposition parties. The independent news media, thank you for being here. And we know who are the independent news media. And non-governmental organizations on a daily basis. He fights with the University of the South Pacific for no reason. Fights with the unions. Fights with our regional neighbors. Even fights with international organizations. With everybody. Anybody who criticizes him, he fights with them. In this paranoid world, for him, everybody is the enemy. All bad things are somebody else's fault, or everyone else's fault. And this is how he has run the government for the last 15 years. And that's why people have had enough. NFP's vision is exactly the opposite. We want everyone to take part in the government. We need partnerships with all our people, our experts, our religious and community groups, our unions, our business community, and those who advocate for the poor and disadvantaged. We are saying to the people that the next government will listen to everyone. Everyone will be consulted. Everyone's ideas will be taken in. You okay, Ranjit? Yes. I thought no one can sabotage us here. We now announce the rest of the 21 proposed candidates, who together with me and the President and 32 others announced as the first batch of proposed candidates on 12th of August, will now be the National Federation Party's provisional candidates upon filing their nominations with the Supervisor of Elections next week. And they are as follows. I know some of them are not here, but those who are here, I would request you to please stand up and put your hands up. Ajay Kumar from Lotoka. Highly successful businessman, social and community worker, president of the TISI Sangam Lotoka branch for many years, and above all, we consider him to be an NFP stalwart. Thank you, Ajay. Anshulata.
Yes.
A very strong woman and the Assistant General Secretary of the National Federation Party for 3 years now, and who can also, I guess, consider herself now as a stalwart, given her contribution to the party in the Northern Division and in Banua Levu. So, obviously, she's from the friendly North. Balminder Singh. Sastrikal. Mr. Singh was an activist with the NFP for many years. Given his family's close links with the party, his uncle Avtar Singh served as a member of parliament between 1994 and 1999 under the leadership of late Justice Jairam Reddy. But Mr. Balminder Singh in 2014 joined the Fiji First Party and served as one of the 32 MPs in government. But he worked very closely with me as deputy chair of the Public Accounts Committee during my 15-month tenure as the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, until they kicked me out, through a motion in Parliament under the by changing the standing orders of the Parliament. But one thing I liked about him, and I want to say this publicly, that for some reason, he was being asked to resign from the party, but he stood up to the two-man rule and he didn't, and he served his full term. So we're delighted to welcome him back to the National Federation Party. Bimal Prasad Chaudhary. Bimal Chaudhary has been with the National Federation Party from when he was a teenager. He offered his services twice as a candidate for the party in 2006 and 2014. I am always amazed at the extensive political knowledge or historical knowledge that Bimal has. In fact, he's a minefield in many ways, and is currently a vice president of the party. And Bimal is from Navua, a very well-known personality. So thank you, Bimal. Davina Loloma from Lotoka. She's not here today, a rights advocate and community worker from Lotoka and Ba. So we welcome Davina as well. Jone Bakalalam Vanua. Where's Jone? Jone has been a very active NFP youth member, in fact, for more than 5 years now. He is actively involved in community and social work targeting empowering youths around the country. Next one is Ilyesa Rendundumba. Look at him carefully. Ilyesa was the person who actually shot the video capturing the assault of the NFP president, Honorable Pio Trikundwandua at that time, by the Prime Minister on 9th August 2019. And subsequently, he was terminated as a parliamentary staff, and we salute his bravery. Thank you, Ilyesa. Dorsami Naidu. Mr. Naidu is a well-known Nandi lawyer, former president of the Law Society, former MP of NFP from 1992 to 1999. He also served as a very prominent member of the Joint Parliamentary Select Committee that formulated the acclaimed 1997 Constitution. He also served as president of the TISI Sangam for more than 11 years. Himayat Ali. Mr. Ali, we were fortunate to have him as a candidate in 2018. He's a very well-known community man, apart from being a very successful businessman, a prominent and nationally recognized registered surveyor. And we are delighted to have Himayat back as our candidate for this election. Thank you, Himayat. Kini Williame Salambongi. Kini is the Vice President of the National Federation Party. Actually, he lost out by just 151 votes under the controversial Dihon system in the last election. Otherwise, he would have been the 4th member of the National Federation Party in Parliament. Kini hails from the province of Ra and is a former military officer. Thank you, Kini. The next one is another well-known personality, Mr. Pramod Chand. A very close friend and somebody who is the pillar of strength for the National Federation Party in the Northern Division. Actually, he needs a little introduction. Many of you would have seen him or heard him perform in Parliament. But before that, he's been our Vice President for 6 years. More than that. Yeah. And he also served as an MP for the National Federation Party from 1994 to 1999. And again, he was with me in Parliament from March 2017 to September 30th, 2018. He's always been considered as a fiery speaker, eloquent speaker, and he speaks eloquently in all 3 languages. And I'm always delighted to hear him speak in meetings. So thank you, Mr. Chand. Thank you for all your contribution. And we're really delighted to have you in the team again for this election. and also a very highly successful businessman in the Northern Division. Next one is Waisele Kanavo. Mr. Kanavo is a former district officer with very close links to the Vanuatu community. He also served as an officer in charge of 2 companies in the 3 FIR of RFMF in Lambasa and also at the Queen Elizabeth Barrack. He was an NFP candidate in the 2018 election, and we are really delighted to have Waisele again. He's continued the work of the party in the Northern Division over the last 4 years, and I want to thank him for that. Next one is Mr. Prem Singh. He has given his apology. He has a function at home. Mr. Singh is a former NFP MP. He served as the leader of the opposition from October 2001 to September 2002 until he was forced out of Parliament following a highly controversial court ruling that was found to have wrongly determined validity of the votes. Next one is Mr. Rakesh Chand. Rakesh is a businessman and an advocate of the rights of those in the transport industry. He is from Kulukulu, Singatoka. We welcome you, Rakesh. We have another Rakesh, Rakesh Rohit Raju. He's not from Singatoka, but close to Singatoka. He's from Nandi. Again, a very prominent, highly qualified businessman, a very strong community worker, and somebody who has a passion to serve our people. Next one is Sekoneya Rambuka Duandua. Sekoneya is not here. He's in Laos. Actually, he's traveling back to Suva. And he told me that he will be watching this announcement live. Former Fiji Pine Limited executive, community worker, and somebody who's been involved for a long time in empowering the landowners in the country. Next one is Veniana Kotonitambua. Veniana hails from Singatoka and is a very well-known former teacher. She was also our candidate in 2018, and she's kept the flame of the National Federation Party burning in Singatoka in her own areas. And I want to thank her very much, and we welcome Veniana again in the team. Next one is Ram Lingam Mudliar. I've only known him as Robert Mudliar. Robert is a long-time business executive. He served as the general manager of one of the largest companies in Fiji, Punjas, for many years. He's a strong and prominent leader within the TISI Sangam. And I know this announcement today about his candidature would cause some pain in some quarters around the country. So thank you, Robert. Thank you. Next one is Mr. Agni Dev Singh. Again, Mr. Singh needs no introduction. In fact, Last night I was talking about him, and I said I see him as a elder politician than me, somebody who has had years of not only union experience but political experience. You know, he served as a member of parliament from 2006 until his term was terminated by the military coup in 2006. And you know who did the military coup in 2006. Mr. Singh is a great advocate of workers' rights in this country. He's fought for many years, fought for the teachers, their rights, their welfare for many years. And I'm actually so delighted, and in fact I consider it to be my good fortune to have somebody like him joining us and contesting this election. And I know that he will be part of the next government that we will form after the election. The last candidate maybe needs no introduction, but usually when we say they don't need any introduction, invariably, we have to talk about them. And that is Shashi Kiran. I have to say something about Shashi, if you don't mind, Shashi. Shashi Kiran is well known for her service to the community as a development practitioner over the last 25 years. She is one person that I know has felt the pain of the people post-2000 and has put herself out to working on mobilizing resources and developing interventions for the needs of the people. In 20 years, she has proved herself in establishing the NGO, now the famous NGO, globally acclaimed NGO, not just nationally, Foundation for Rural Integrated Enterprises and Development, FRIEND, very well known for its humanitarian and development work in the communities. She has worked for farmers, women, youth, ex-offenders, street people, orphanages. She has developed interventions for water, sanitation, housing materials, I know for post-cyclones, reconstruction and building, food during various disasters, including the COVID pandemic, medicines, mobility aid for many suffering disability due to NCDs, food security in schools and communities. The list, my friends, is endless. Shashi has served on many international, global boards over the last 20 years. With her qualifications and experience in the media, which I only found very recently, and development sector, she is ready to serve the people at the national level. She understands the issues people are suffering, as she has spent years in communities listening to the people. If people outside the government, if being people outside of the government, she could mobilize, such huge amounts of resources for those in need, imagine what she will do when she's in government. Her track record, and I want to say this to the people of Fiji, her track record speaks for her. And Shashi, we are absolutely thrilled, delighted, and I know that the people of this country right now are thrilled and delighted that you have decided to join politics, that you have decided to join the National Federation Party and the team. And we want to welcome you and thank you for that. Thank you, my friends.